Brother Negro?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is a much needed conversation due to the fact that we don't have barbershops and stuff that's controlled by us. This would have been a conversation in the barbershop, you know? This would have been a conversation at a Pat Talk summit where a brother might pull another black man aside and have this conversation. This could have been held by the deacon at the church. Like, let's really wake this up. So yeah, we definitely going to church today, family. It's church Sunday. So yeah, I could see this conversation being done anywhere, you know? And you can see how casual it was. And I think that is a much needed conversation due to the fact that the places that we control are no longer being operational like that. They're replacing it with women, you know? I'm just gonna keep it 1,000. So imagine if a young black brother was having this conversation. 9 out of 10, it's gonna be policed by a black woman or a white woman that has issues with our community. Work come to work. And you go ahead, Dr. Short.
And may I add, someone mentioned the church. I mean, that's the whorish ass place of all times, and even the praise dancing is nastier than shit in the strip club. And I mean, the incentive is you don't have to pay for this stuff. So no.
They stripping for Jesus, brother.
Well, I don't know if that's come to Jesus, unless he's got vertical lips. But anyway.
Well, I will say this, sir. You know, we are. Brother Short is crazy. Anyway, let me keep on going here, sir. You know, I want to hear from the ordained, our brother Lone Wolf, sir. These kind of conversations, I don't know, you know, how you were as a younger man, but I know for me, having that older gentleman tap me on my shoulder, say, man, listen, just take it easy out. It ain't really worth on it, you know, in many things, right? Do you think there's still value in what this young man is saying here, Brother Wolf? There you go. You're muted, Brother Wolf. Thank you.
Absolutely. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, I think these conversations is much needed, very much needed, without getting to my past. But I got married young. I wasn't out there in the streets like that. And I think, let me say this. I think when I was, probably me getting my heart broke early kept me off the streets like that. And then me getting married early. I was married in 91. So we're talking about maybe 2 or 3 years after I graduated from high school. But I think, yes, these conversations was needed. And I would say this, my marriage actually preserved me. So I was out there running.
Talk about the power of the marriage. Because people think the marriage isn't worth anything, Brother Wolf. And, you know, hearing you say it, and I got to say it too.
The marriage is an institution, OG. The marriage is an institution.
Well, here's what I would say. I want to back Wolf on the preservation of what that union can do for a man. Whether it works out or not, you know, I second the preservation of properties of being with one person for a particular amount of time. Brother Wolf, speak on that a little bit more. I like with that.
The preservation is important because you're not just becoming one with that person, but you've neglected all others. You know what I'm saying? And it kept me disciplined. It kept me off the streets. I wasn't out there drinking and smoking. I was home trying to be a father and trying to connect with my children's mother, my ex-wife. Okay? But let me tell you something. In my 50s going on 60s, what I did in my 20s preserved me. Look, I can attribute me being healthy today because I preserved myself at a very young age. And guys who are younger, they're blowing themselves out. They're done. I mean, you talking about the Viagra's, the Cialis, you name it. And even just their addictions. I didn't have the luxury to be addicted to nothing except for making sure my wife was provided for, my children, and me maintaining my job, and make sure the protection, the provide, and the giving instructions part of it. So yes, telling you right now, it makes a difference. It makes a great big difference. When you're out here just hoeing in your youth, there are repercussions in your older age. And I'm gonna land my plane with that.
Well, you know, my brother Dr. Short is a big advocate of not doing no wild shit until you find what you need and you settle down and you make that happen. Brother Short, talk about the disciplines that you've applied to your lifestyle, sir, you know, to really preserve who you are as a man till you get that right, Shorty.
Well, it's very simple.
You're muted, Brother Short. You're muted.
Oh, well, first of all, white woman to everybody, brothers.
Yes, sir.
Man, that white woman is on back. I need it.
Well, the point is, as Andre Crouch says, soon and very soon. Look, I don't have any great secrets or anything. Oh, look at this person. This saying Happy Pride Month. Okay. It isn't Happy Pride Month. If it were, you wouldn't be on this thread. Oh my God.
It's Abomination Pride Month. That's what it is.
No,
Abomination.
this should be colon rectal cancer month. And so that's cool. Well, I don't know. Well, dude, enjoyed being Farrah Fawcett. You gotta go. Bye, Farrah Fawcett. Bye, Farrah Fawcett. Okay. Bye, Farrah Fawcett.
Oh, she's trying to look for a D9 brother. That's what she's trying to do. She's trying to look for a D9 brother.
I don't know who it is. I don't care. A happy Pride Month. Look, what I would say to anybody is very simply, what I came up with may be different from a lot of people, my parents and other people. I had a brother that was a hoe, and I will tell you this, watching other people more so than anything, I will take this thought to my grave with me. My brother, who is doing everything, doing well in school, everything, his downfall was being a hoe as a man. And in particular, I think the one thing that I think changed him, that changes a lot of men, and that is when my brother denied the paternity to a child by one of the many women he was messing with, when that baby was aborted, my brother was never the same. There are a lot of men out there who have had their children sacrificed to their harlotry, their male harlotry. And that's one thing that really influenced me, that my brother, if that was his child, even if it wasn't, I don't think he ever got over having potentially his firstborn killed because he wanted to go to college and play football. And the girl who had the baby killed, I'm certain would have been 100 times better than the woman he ultimately married, who could only have children that died. That's one thing. Now, let me go back and say my experience to everything is my mother worked with black men that were dying from syphilis and other things at St. Elizabeth's Hospital. So I grew up, at least initially as a child, know what it's like to see black men dying as a consequence of this sexual promiscuity. See, a lot of people live. They're like maggots. They live in bullshit, and they're comfortable. I never had the opportunity um, to not take sex seriously in terms of its consequences. People around me, there were people who got raped. I'm thinking I had a family member that was raped. Uh, there several people raped, persons killed. When I was very young, I had three cousins, two shot to death and one stabbed to death for breaking off relationship with their boyfriend. My dad's secretary's entire family, with the exception of herself, were stabbed to death because her sister got involved with the rogue street dude, and he stabbed everybody. I mean, he killed her mother, father, sister, brother. Are y'all hearing me? A man came in when the family says this guy isn't good for you, you need to cut it off. He came to the house and killed everybody. I don't know if you're in D.C., but you're familiar with a thing called the Freeway Phantom. There was a guy going around just killing black women. Lots of them. So venereal disease, where my father's church was, it's a slummy area. It's now kind of bushy. H Street, but you would see people sell themselves for heroin. Okay, and so pedophilia, rape, STDs, dope. That stuff wasn't hidden from me like it typically is from young people, and it scared the hell out of me. Not so much sex, but the consequences. To know what it's like to see someone's nose be eaten up, where the cartilage is gone, and they look like a ghoul because they have syphilis, tertiary syphilis. And when I got older, AIDS killed so many people. My parents had a lot of connection with gospel music. So when you see lots and lots of people die, and like I said, so I've always been terrified of STDs. I think I'm the last part of the generation where I can recall if you got someone pregnant, you got humiliated in front of the church. It's very embarrassing. I saw it happen to a young woman who got impregnated, and people really ragged her out pregnant in front. I mean, it's devastating what used to be. A lot of people have never seen that. People have never, ever, 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 never, ever, okay, have never had that experience. The other experience they have not had is to know about, when you had family members raped. In fact, I had a couple, I mean, and quite young. I mean, basically, people that are victims of rape at the ages of 12, 13, and then have a baby behind that. So, and there's a good amount of this. So, disease, violence, dope. I've always had a perspective that there are a lot of consequences for sex. So it might feel good, but it can kill you, it can destroy you. You can get with someone and them kill you. There was a lot of this that one experienced. So I always had an attitude, I only want to deal with the person I'm going to be married to. And as a person that had lots of childhood illnesses, I've never wanted to die unnecessarily. A lot of other people, like I said, I had lots of things that probably should have killed me when I was young. That thanks to God, I got spared. So I've never been reckless. Don't want VD. Don't like predators, pedophiles. There were folks who tried to take advantage. A couple of people who tried to get over on me when I was very young. I'm talking about 4 and 5 and 6. So I always saw sex with a greater gravity than what my jokes and all may relay of I'm not doing that or this. And I always get reminders of how dangerous stuff is. I'll give you a quickie. In 1994, God, 30 years ago, I was a juror in the trial. And the lawyer for the guy who was on trial was gorgeous to me. I mean, it's a trip. You're in the jury and the lawyer, and we're like, giving each other fuck eyes. I got that lady's card. And I planned after the trial, I've got to look this lady up. She had hazel eyes. She had the color of Hershey chocolate. Just very smooth skin. Smooth, dark skin. Oh my God. And I recall one day being furious that I couldn't find her card because I had meant to call her up. I was going to wait a couple of weeks so it's not like I'm moving too fast. And I couldn't find the card and I was trying to figure out what happened. That one was fine. I wanted it right. When I finally I figured out, I went through all the pockets of my clothes that I'd washed. I found her card with the complete name. And I was like, yes. Before I called her, went upstairs to look through, what I would do back then in the 90s, and read the obituaries. And I saw that woman's name. She was dead. More than likely she died from AIDS. I'm very lucky that I didn't get something I wanted to get. And as it says, I can remember that lady vividly. I can describe her to a T. She's smart, like black men, gorgeous looking, intelligent, fine, slim, in shape. And I was like, dude, how'd you not call her? What's wrong with you? And I'm fortunate. I'm probably alive because I misplaced her card.
Man, that's the Heavenly Father cop blocking. Salute to God. Salute to the Godfather on that. Because we wouldn't have a Dr. Randall Short right here.
So I'm just saying to you, like my cousin that got stabbed like 80 times by a guy she broke it off with, her 2 sisters. We had a branch of family. Girls didn't live past 17. They would get killed. I mean, this is right up on you. People just getting blown away, shot in the head over a bad relationship. This kind of stuff, this might scare the shit out of somebody. I believe a house that one of the family owned, a guy got mad, set the house on fire, burnt up 3 of my cousins. I don't want all this. Damn.
Makes sense, Brother Short.
A lot of people, so as for me, these things about the consequences came hard. Like again, people getting strangled, and whichever way you do it. There was a guy who visited our house, gay. That's dead. That's even more deadly. I mean, every kind of, if you mess around, you lay down with people with consequences. This guy went over Rock Creek Park here in D.C. Someone, I guess, did something, screwed him, and blew his head off while he was giving him a blowjob. Hell, I ain't messing with nothing. I don't need no parts, none of that. My parents never hid that kind of stuff. We were taken to places like the jail. I know what it's like before the show Scared Straight for the guys to say which ones of us they were going to screw. They couldn't wait for us to please ignore your parents. I need that booty.
Well, you know what, brother Dr. Short, I appreciate you sharing that with us. Man, you was blessed. That booty, God said you wasn't supposed to tap that ass, brother Dr. Short. You wasn't supposed to.
That's the main thing. Sex, if you're a believer, your dick and your nutsack and your pussy belong to God. They're not free agents on the team. They're not free agents.
And and that's and salute to that, man. I mean, you want to talk about how he works in mysterious ways, right? Whatever cliche y'all want to put to that, y'all could go ahead and put to that. He ducked a major one there.
She was fine. She was fine as hell, man.
But they say everything that glitter ain't gold, brother Dr. Short.
Well, it may have been gold, but it's fool's gold.
Fool's gold. Yeah. that's my thing.
And not all cookies are good cookies.
Right. Right.
Well, no, some cookies don't belong in the jar.
Man, let's play a little bit more of the OG.
I'm telling the truth. Said 6 kids by 5 different men. Don't that qualify?
Hold on. OG, keep it in 100. Mom was a hoe. Peep it.
What would you have did? What would I would have done? Stay with my one son's mother and been married and been happy today. That's probably a regret that I've gotten over, but I would still be with her because I still have some great feeling for her in my heart, but I know how to navigate through that. But I wouldn't have been the hoe that I was back then.
So what made you be a hoe?
It was ingrained in me. My uncle was a hoe. My grandfather was a hoe. My brothers was hoes. My cousins was hoes. I'm sorry, it might not sound right. My mama was a hoe.
Salute to
Amen.
Salute to this brother. His mom was a hoe. God damn it.
Well, these days, whose mama isn't a hoe? And see, and we got to get into this word. And the fundamental word is there's so many bastards out here, and it's a downward spiral. A hoe plus a simp equals a bastard.
Come on. Let me play this, y'all, for those of y'all just tapping in.
Hey, Dr. Short, I got a question. Would this guy qualify as a fagonist? I don't think he does.
No, I don't think he's a fagonist. A fagonist would blame all the men. The 5 different men are hoes, but his mom is, working for Jesus. No, a fagonist hates accountability for women. A fagonist the kind of dude, like I always give the example. There was a meeting we were supposed to go to, and the dude when I was trying to get people to go to the meeting, the sister that was holding everything up and blocking everybody, they were ultimately the one responsible, right? When he got angry, he yelled at me more so than her. In fact, he didn't yell at her at all. He yelled at me. And I was trying to do exactly what he wanted. If you've ever been around a lot of black men that are brotherfucker bitch types, they are very good at jumping down on the man. They have no problem with that. What they cannot do is hold women accountable, either because they're in one of the woman's orifices. They're either in her pocketbook and her vagina and her ass and her mouth, right? Or in her pocketbook, or all the above. Or they'd like to be there.
Well, I want to say this, gentlemen, real quick. I got to salute some of the rest of the family that tapped into the building with us just now, ladies and gentlemen. Salute the rebel in the building. Salute, Rab. Salute to the rebel in the building. Salute to brother Freezy from No Captivity. Salute, Freeze. Let's see who else is in here.
Hi, sister, and Sister Scales is out here
We got
holding.
Sprinkling Fine in the building. Salute the Sprinkling Fine in the building. And we got, ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, if you didn't know, Brother Q from Let's Talk 2 is in the building. Salute Q. Q, what it look like, bro? What it look like?
Hey, what's going
Are
on?
you up to
Good-
speed with this conversation, sir?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Actually, Chef C, I saw that clip and I loved that video of that old timer giving him some game.
Yeah.
And I think he probably caught the young man off guard with his level of accountability, and this is what we need in our community. People like that who are willing to say the mistakes that they made along the way, and they may not live with regrets, but he's basically saying if he could do it all over again, how he would go about his business. So hopefully those listening that never made those same mistakes that older gentleman made won't have to make the same mistakes.
Well, peep this. I want to play the rest of the clip, and this is the part that I want everybody who's so quick to jump off the fucking 20th floor flight of a building for a woman. This is how you really just make shit make sense. This is accountability. Peep this.
I'm telling the truth. You know, on the whole, my brothers was hoes, my cousins was hoes. I'm sorry, it might not sound right. My mama was a hoe.
Yes, Lord.
I'm
Hallelujah.
telling the truth. You know, there's 6 kids
Tell the
by 5
story.
different men.
Can you
Okay,
rewind
well,
that and play that again? It sounds good when he says his mama
Hold
was a
on,
hoe.
brother Short. Hold on. Let me get it here.
I like how you flipped the question. I like how you flipped the question, homie, and that's the accountability. You made me give up something about me. Now it's up for you to answer the question about what I'm laying down right here.
Well, hold
And
on.
that's how men are supposed to engage. So I appreciate that.
Well, hold on. If everybody can just hold on their mics for a second, let me play this so everybody can hear it. Particularly this last part here. This last part is very important because you're not hearing a lot of men take it just saying, you know what, listen, she was getting busy and this was some bullshit. She shouldn't have been on that type of time. And this is the type of stuff that we need to really start being honest about, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go here real quick.
But I know how to navigate through that. But I wouldn't have been the hoe that I was back then.
So what made
That's one, and let's check the mark. That's one, him taking accountability for his actions when he did it and how he was doing it. That's check mark one. Let's go to the next one.
you be a hoe?
It was ingrained in me. My uncle was a hoe. My grandfather was a
Yes,
hoe.
Lord.
My brothers was hoes.
Amen.
Check that. A lineage of hoes. So he understands the origin story of the whole activity in his family. Number two, origin story. All right, let's go. And those are the men. But he said, you know what? If we're going to keep it 100, everybody can get it. Let's keep playing this track.
My cousins was hoes. I'm sorry, it might not sound right. My mama was a hoe.
Let's stop there. Mom was opening that booty, clapping them cheeks, bobbling on dicks all over the place.
You mean standing ovations?
Yeah. Touching toes, all of that. So, but this is what I want the ones who jump off the building for women can do no wrong type ass niggas. I can't stand these niggas. So let's hear what the OGs say, because you can learn something from the OG.
I'm telling the truth. You know, said 6 kids by 5 different men. Don't that qualify?
Come on. 6 kids by 5 different men. Stop it. But we'll hear about Papa being a Rolling Stone. What about Mom? being a pass around heifer.
She's
Or a deadbeat.
no, she's a kickstand.
Mm.
Damn, Dr. Short, you be going hard. Dang. I'm taking notes right now.
Real quick,
what's
I got
really-
to salute my brother that just tapped into the building. Salute the brother next level. Yeah. We having an honest conversation because then we gonna go into this Trump shit.
What's
Okay?
really crazy, Chef C, what's really crazy about it is that's an older gentleman speaking on his situation, right?
Right.
And you look see he's of age man.
Right.
So he's speaking about his mother who came at a time where basically, I hate to say it like this, you got women that may have 6 or 7 abortions.
Mm.
No, they have more like 20 abortions.
I would say higher.
Yes,
Based
exactly.
off the stuff that I've been hearing lately, higher.
You know, in
They got
Russia,
football
in the
jersey
Soviet,
numbers.
in the Soviet Union, former Soviet Union, women had as many as 24 abortions each. Certain demographics.
Wow.
So a lot of women are abortion queens, or as I say, AQs.
Well,
Abortion
brother
queens.
Wolf,
We have a lot of abortion queens. In fact, I'm going to say to you that post-abortive women that kill babies have a personality that is very vile and out of control. And you can almost tell a woman that's killed children by how they behave towards men, towards children. When you see these women killing children all over the country in frightening numbers, everyone gets upset. Hell, all she's doing is killing one baby outside the womb. She's been like Jack the Ripper internally.
crazy. Yeah, that when you
So,
put it
so
like
you saying that these are cowards?
Their
So you saying
womb-
these women out here getting abortions are
No,
cowards?
these
because
women are
they
not
wanna kill a
cowards.
baby.
These women are mass murderers.
Come on. Yeah. Listen, Brother Wolf, I gotta go to the Wolf. Brother Wolf, I mean, first and foremost, let's go to the OG's accountability. I want to hear your perspective, particularly on that latter end statement that he made, sir. Is that the kind of well, I'm not even going to say it. I believe you already agree with that. But how do we institute that level of accountability across the board? What do you think could be the potential plan of action to start, showing that transparency like that, Brother Wolf?
I think the conversation that we're having right now is that transparency. I've always said this: where there's an offspring, there's a root, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact.
So we haven't really had these conversations, and that's why we've been seeing our community's gone wild.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm. And Brother Lone Wolf,
Yes, sir.
where there's a dog, there's a coot.
So I think that just us having this conversation, and hopefully this will be liked and shared, it will maybe open doors for it to be a consistent conversation. What that brother said was accurate, man. We need more older, seasoned elders,
Patriarchs.
Come on.
patriarchs, to have this conversation, because we're not having a conversation. That's why people keep asking questions, what's going on? What's going on is we're not talking. But that was good. That was great that the OG could say who he was.
Facts.
I think we need to build the institutions around that, family. I think prior to the beginning of the conversation, I mentioned the barbershop. And now it got infiltrated. Now you got, for example, one of the barbers I frequent, they have a female and a male component. So now we can't really talk about these conversations the way we want to because we have women that could drop by.
But let me
we
say
have a lot of,
something to you, brother. You couldn't have those conversations if you had a barbershop full of stupid asshole, fagonist, dick slave, liar dudes who all they talk about is how much money athletes are making other than themselves. The barbershops is one of the most anti-intellectual, despicable places that you can go many times in our community. If you have a bunch of junkie or no good or bullshit or ex-con barbers in there on some bullshit, the level of conversation in the barber shop, man, yeah, she need to kill that baby. Kill that motherfucker, man. Shit. I mean, I did 5 to life. This baby won't have to do nothing. Just kill that motherfucker. Don't you, man, you don't know it's yours. You better kill this shit. I don't care how many times you dipped in there. There could have been somebody else. I have heard more older, dumbass black men who hide behind the fact you got gray hair on your nuts, but you don't have God in your heart. I hear a lot of stupid advice, ignorant things like, boy, just get that pussy. I don't care. They be talking to little kids. How old are you? You 9? You ain't fucking? Boy, you trying to be a sissy? Now you go out, man, you come back, you tell me that you got yourself something. I have watched older black men encourage minors to have sex and talk down to, man, you ain't even got no tail yet, boy. You what, 10? I got my first piece and I was 7. I mean, my mother's sister gave me some. No, I'm so glad she did. But Andre Crouch, so glad she did. I've heard and seen some of the worst instructions and ideas from deviant, ignorant, stupid, older black men. The only thing they have going is that they didn't get killed early in life. So they grandfathered by age the ability to be someone that people go to. And so they give out nothing but stupid, ignorant advice. Man, we didn't use condoms when I was coming up. Condoms for faggots, boy. I mean, you need to feel that. I mean, you're going to go up in there, you got to go in there for real. You know, condoms for sorry people. Condoms for people that are not accountable. I'm a man. I never use a condom, right? And you hear these people talk like this, and because they're older, nobody checks them. We have a lot of no good older black people that are scum. In fact, the confusion in our community right now is the old niggas' fault. They did not check this. This stuff did not start in the 90s or the 2000s. This mess was going on in the 50s and 60s and before. And the older black men, they're the same ones. I'm gonna just tell you, they're dudes in their 80s. At Howard, we had faculty, men in their 80s, screwing undergraduates, competing with younger men. This goes on in our community. Older black men, shit, she don't like me, but she like my payday. We have a culture of predation between generations, a culture of pedophilia, a culture of pimpology and inappropriateness that goes over generation after generation. You can hear it in the songs. It ain't new. It's grown. There used to be literally 2 cultures in black America. A culture where people were trying to be decent and what we called indecent culture. And somewhere between the 60s and now, in particular, the indecent stuff became the norm. And it's the old boomers and the silent generation. And of course, I'm an Xer. Xers, they were fuck-ups. Look at the millennials. They were fuck-ups. They were not just a chip off the old cock. There was even more bullshit. And what you're seeing is a degeneration in our community, but it started with old-ass people. And I can tell you as a teacher, the people that didn't let me give structure or instruction to younger people were always older niggas that said, man, you like the kind of person I came up with. They just kept everything so tight. There are older women who will not check younger women because they glory in the whoring that they see in young women that they wish they could have done. And so let's stop pretending that because niggas had to sit in the back of the bus that they weren't hoes and tricks then too.
Okay, Dr. Short, I got a question. If it's not the barbershops, what institutions that we can build or that we can transform so we can meet that standard? Because we do need to have institutions to guard
we
and
had it.
support those ideals.
We used to have churches, and then for money and for sex, the men let the women completely take that shit over. And before that, a lot of the churches were built based around basically Holy Ghost pimps getting, I mean, preachers. I mean, it's a great job. It's free pussy and tax-free money.
Free pussy. He said free pussy with tax-free money.
It is free pussy and tax-free money and free food. They'll bring you some food, fuck you, and give you money you don't have to pay taxes on. That's a great life.
I want to say this.
Well, ask Lone Wolf, am I lying? Lone Wolf?
Listen.
Facts.
Listen, I know when the wolves sit there and do that, I know it's it's a problem. But salute to the over 50 plus in the building with us right now. Ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to get that appetizer out real quick. I got one more appetizer and then we go on to Trump. Brother Q and Brother Dr. Short did an excellent broadcast the other day.
Yes, they did.
It's absolutely phenomenal, but there was some receipts in there that I'm sure my other audience and Brother Wolf's audience didn't see, that Brother Dr. Short and Brother Q brought up that we want to bring to you. And then I got some shit for myself. I got some gems as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, this clip I came across, I saw a Rastafari come up, and this brother here, he was in the grocery store. It looked like it was a bodega or something like that. And I think the Chinese dude was talking crazy to the other black looking chick, a melanated looking chick, and he laid hands on for Sunday service. He laid hands on this Asian dude. Hit him with the hurry up and buy. So check this out. Hold on.
It was me. Huh? It was me. Huh? Go you talk your talk. Oh no, se head. Ay más. ¿Cómo es que? Pues andamos de queriendo. Ya, but no to talk to people, man. Don't go like that. I don't push me on your way next time again. What's wrong with you? One thing, man.
Hey, y'all heard Jackie? Jackie, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Hold on with Jackie. Hold on.
Wait. Who was speaking Chinese, man? Like, was the black man or him? I'm having a hard time.
The Chinese man right there. Look, with the mask. Look at his mask half off. But this Jamaican dude laying hands, man. Look at he got their hands of Julius out here. Hold on. Slap the plantain out of him. Hold on.
You mean he slapped the white rice out of him?
I slapped the chow mein out of him. Hold on.
And he slapped his eyes open.
Yeah, but not to talk to people, man. Don't go like that. I don't push me on your way next time again.
Look at the mask. I don't condone violence, but look at the mask on the dude.
Well, you know what? We can call the Chinese man the prone ranger after he got the anointing. You know, the Bible talks about the laying on of hands for the sick.
Yo, look at the mask, y'all. Look at the mask now. That shit look crazy. But listen to my man. Look at Jackie Chan. Look Jackie Chan stay right here, y'all. Pay attention. I'm trying to turn the volume up. Listen to Jackie Chan.
What the hell up out of here?
Hold on. Yeah, he'll fuck this mask up, Jackie Chan.
One thing about it. Fuck that with you, son. I come here every damn buying money check. What's going on? Fuck that with you.
Shout out to Jackie, still standing his ground, though, man.
Fuck that with you. Get the hell up out of here. One thing about it.
Yes, I'm gonna have the sound for that one.
Hey, wait. quick. Can I throw something out there? Because I've seen millions of videos of these Jamaicans, right, hacking each other's up with machetes and all that other smoke. I'm just saying, man. Why the weak sauce on the yellow man for? I have to go there because, like, I think we as a people, just in general.
You stop Asian hating right now, Negro? Are you?
No. What I'm saying is, I thought he went weak on homeboy. If he was in Jamaica, his home turf, I would say anything goes. And I see that they out here do the most heinous things to our people, right? To our people individually. But he just gave him a pity pat smack. That's all I'm saying. I'm just making an observation.
Well, I mean, I thought I saw the chicken chow mein go flying across the damn grocery store. Cause I mean, the way he took the hand and the way the shit came down on. Look at the dude mask. He slapped fire out of him. Look at his mask. The
mask is covering his eye now.
Salute to over 70 plus in the building.
You know what I really think happened? He didn't get a refund for the last Rush Hour sequel, and he didn't. So he took it out on the man in the store. That's projection.
But gentlemen, all right, we're gonna stop this shit here. Let's go into Trump, and I want to prime everybody for this. First and foremost, I want to prime everybody for this, and the best way I can do that, ladies and gentlemen, brother Dr. Short, can you share the story that the illustrious lawyer told you about Donald Trump, your good colleague, sir?
Let me see. Something very strange happened. Oh, I see. Look, in a nutshell, I called Alton Maddox in 2015 when Donald Trump first started running for president. I was mad about the Central Park 7. And Alton Maddox represented two of those people. Well, you hear Central Park 5 because Alton Maddox got two of them off, and they forbid and would not let Alton Maddox free the other 5. So I figured if I call Alton Maddox to talk bad about what I was still feeling at that time about Trump, I would get a sympathetic ear. And I proceeded to go in on Trump. And I noticed I wasn't getting anything. I wasn't getting any response from Alton about what I was saying about Trump. And he said, you know what, Donald Trump is all right. Donald Trump helps lots of people. Donald Trump is a friend. Even if he's racist, Donald Trump is a friend. Donald Trump is very, very conflicted. He's complicated. You can't understand Donald Trump unless you really know him. And Donald Trump can't be a racist for real because Donald Trump isn't really white. This is what I was thinking. What is he talking about? Is this Donald Trump is white? No, Donald Trump's mother, his real mother, had an affair with a black man in Tennessee, and his father, Fred Trump, had Donald Trump's black mother, a woman I guess who presented white but was really black, had her killed. And this is why Donald Trump can't stand this woman that we've been told is his mother, how they sent him off, how he didn't fit in, how he's bigger and taller and different from his brothers and sisters. And he says, because I know people in Tennessee and everything else, I know Donald Trump's business. I used to be one of Donald Trump's tenants. He would never do anything. I call Donald Trump, he'll do anything I ask him to do. Because Donald Trump knows I can tell everybody that he's not really a white man, and the game would be over. Leave Donald Trump alone. He'll probably do good for black folks. He'll do more for us than what Obama's doing. I'm shocked. I'm saying, come on, Donald Trump. He's a white person. I don't want to make anybody anything that they're not. And he says, look, Short, I'm older than you. I've been around. Trump is black. This is why the people won't accept him. This is why he doesn't completely fit in. No matter what he does, they won't take him because some people know he's not what he looks like. They don't like a part of what Donald Trump is. They hate him. You're talking about white Americans, a certain type, don't receive Trump. He's not good enough. And it says that even Donald Trump is conflicted. If you know Donald Trump, he will hang with black people. He loves it. He can't get enough. And it's like Elvis Presley, whose grandmother was a Melungeon. Elvis Presley's a mulatto, and the one drop hypodescent rule that we didn't make, but the Anglos implied. Anyone that has any African black and is 100% black as a way for the American caste system. If the American caste system, the one drop rule applies, the same as Elvis Presley wasn't really completely white. And if you really got to know about Elvis Presley and how he would interact with black people when nobody saw, Elvis Presley's around black people, chasing down black people to make them sing gospel music with them, hanging out in black churches, until Elvis Presley's nickname was Nigger Lover. And it's just Donald Trump is the same. He likes black people. And I mean, and it's a conflict. He's between and twixt, like a tragic mulatto. Anybody that knows how to play that can control Donald Trump. I'm not telling you this is true. I'm just telling you what he told me. And if you look at Donald Trump, him going to South Bronx, we've never had a president other than Ronald Reagan as a candidate go to South Bronx to down black
African
people.
Americans.
I mean, there are things that I have friends who are associates that are friends to Trump, and I hear stories about how Donald Trump doesn't like the way black people are treated, that he has with white people. And it makes him angry. And I'm thinking, we had a president who's more than likely, there's a strong possibility that he and I are related. To show you this, in fact, due to my lineage, all the presidents are related to each other with the exception of one, and I come from the same family. So
Brother
yeah,
Short,
but hold
real quick, I
on.
don't mean to cut you
This
off,
this
Brother
black
Short.
president, this black
Hold
president.
on. I can't hear you, Brother Short. Your mic is low. We maybe let's see if we can mute you and then say something now, Brother Short. Say something.
Hello.
Yeah, your mic is on.
Oh, they tapping in, man. They don't want to know that he's that Trump the half and half or something.
Do me a favor, Brother Short. Drop down, come right back up, sir. We need that. We need that clear.
This is strange. Okay, Mark, the Blackbirds did have a song, Doing It in the Dark, Doing It in the Park. Oh yes, Rock Creek Park. My family,
Johnny Cochran time.
My family used to own
To a
Rock
degree.
Creek Park.
So
Some
he-
cousins of my family.
Let me see. Brother Short is back. Let's see if we got him. Brother Short, test it.
White woman.
There you go. Now we talk. All right. Yeah. You had to recharge the white woman in you. Go ahead,
I don't know. Somebody's saying the less of Trump and Biden is Cornel West. No, Cornel West is not what people think he is. I have a person in my thread who's obsessed with Cornel West. I will say this to Cornel West, something that Cornel West could do really easy. When Cornel West was a professor at Harvard, he would do what all the other professors at Harvard that were black would do. They would never have black teaching assistants. They'd only have white people. That's a job you could give to a black person when you had the power and you elected to go with the system. So not having black teaching fellows and all that, and there are other things. Cornel West Alleged. It's alleged. Just for you, all the people out here tripping on Cornel West, y'all need to find out why he left Harvard University. And speaking of accountability, and need to find out if it's true that Cornel West liked playing Rock'em Sock'em Robots with his first wife, the only black one. Is it true that the black one did all the writing and she helped make his ass and he's beating her ass and then replaces her with consecutive white wives? To me, I don't like that. And also, it's alleged that Cornel West got an undergraduate student pregnant. I hope she was of age. And he married her later, I understand. Okay. I was a faculty. I never screwed my students. If you abuse that kind of power on that level, you lack discretion. Cornel West he says a lot of stuff I agree with. And let me give my Cornel West story, why I won't vote for Cornel West.
Oh, well, hold on, Brother Short, because I'm out of here in 25 minutes. Let's keep it on Trump.
Okay, well, let me finish this. I will say this. My personal no to Cornel West is when they let one student from Harvard into Princeton each year in the class. It was between me, a guy who was a Q, who didn't even get the schoolwork done, that was light-skinned, that was an omnisexual freak. He chose the guy he got drunk and high with, and I got sidelined. So when Cornel West had a chance to do something to help me in my life, Cornel West gave me thumbs down. So I give Cornel West thumbs down, aside from many other things. I don't see anything concrete that Cornel West has done for black people other than run his mouth on liberal points. He's pro-abortion, he's pro-LGBTQ, he's pro-illegal. That's the trinity for me to give you the finger. Pro-abortion, and he's pro-feminism. So he's an intellectual enemy to black people. No, he screwed one of his current students that he got pregnant, and Harvard had to pay out at least $1 million. That was an expensive fuck. That's irresponsible. That lets you know how you treat people. So for a man who needs a haircut, and they need to have a little talk with Jesus in terms of how you treat people, no, you can have Cornel West. It's just like Obama. And for people who can't see that, piss on him. He knew Obama was a fraud, and he pushed Obama when he didn't get enough inauguration tickets. That's when he came out and said something about Obama. He's shallow. Tell him I said it. He'll never talk with folk like me. Will not. And every crooked black person that comes along, every crooked person, that bitch Dolezal and Sean King, two phony white people pretend to be blacks that were grifting. Who gave them the pass? Cornel West. That's all I'm going to say about it. How, if Cornel West is so black, I could tell Rachel Dolezal was a white bitch first time I saw her in the 90s at a distance. Same thing for Talcum X. Cornel West is paid. He's the property of the white left, and that's another branch of white supremacy. I'd rather deal with Trump and his open supremacists than Cornel West and the hidden back ones. Let's back to Trump. Donald Trump, according to Alton Maddox, is black. And he pointed up, and I was saying to you, we had another black president by the name of Warren G. Harding, who's in the same family I'm in. And Warren G. Harding one day went down to Birmingham, Alabama, and went off on white people about racism and not giving black people basically reparations for slavery. You know, within a year and a half, he was dead. White folks are afraid that Donald Trump is going to give stuff to black people. They're absolutely terrified. because there's some concern. Whether he's got it all together or not, no, he doesn't. But he might do it. We never got anything for, hell yes, Cornel West isn't black. Cornel West is a person that wants to be universal. And I'm a black American. He doesn't have a black first agenda. You're obsessed on his color. That's shallow. I don't care what you look like. What will you do for me? Cornel West is running right now, and he should have at least had a counter offer to Trump's platinum plan. He didn't do it. Why did he meet with these rappers? It's bullshit. Back to Trump, and that's the end of it. Hey, Scales, let Pedagogy know that's the end of it. I've answered the question. And you don't have a counter to what I said, so just listen. Too many questions, not enough thinking. I told the truth. Cornel West is a hoe. I hope he's not a predator hoe. Now, Donald Trump, it's a strong possibility that he's mixed. Look at his son. Look at Donald Trump Jr. The dark hair, swarthy complexion, yet his mother's Eastern European, his father's supposedly white. How'd that boy come out that dark with that hair? If y'all know anything about genetics, how's his father's hair that light and the son's hair is that dark? And the mother's hair was light. Seems like the kid would have light hair too. They call that a throwback. Donald Trump Jr. looks like a throwback. Throwback is a child that has a black ancestor and they come out with traits. Even generations later, they've got stuff that's different. If Donald Trump Jr. spoke Spanish or Portuguese or Italian, you couldn't tell anybody his parents or family's from Germany. People just assume, yep, he's got a Mediterranean olive complexion look. You don't get that kind of skin color and all of that with everybody being lily white in your family. So when you think about it, everything black that comes along, since I've known of Donald Trump, disco, boxing, football, rap, anything black culture, he's up in the middle of it. We see the same behavior in elite black people who may not want to live around black folks, but enjoy the culture of black people when it suits them. And so I will say of Donald Trump, Ultimatix wasn't a person that lied that I know of. Ultimatix would go up against anybody for what he believes. He spent a lifetime ready to die for what he believed in. If that's what he wanted to impart to me, maybe he was telling the truth. And I believe in Alton. They were very good to me. I just don't think that Alton wouldn't tell me the truth. I mean, it's a very solid black man that I love. I don't have any choice. So if Alton tells me Donald Trump is like an octoroon or something like this, I believe him. I believe him.
I got a question. There's allegations about him doing open discrimination with the housing and stuff.
Sure, we talked about that last night. Look, we have black mayors doing we have black mayors doing open discrimination against whole cities full of black voters in Democratic blue cities. And more people bitch about what Donald Trump did 50 years ago than what's happening right now. Why are people on that goddamn old talking point? Donald Trump is probably the only realtor I know who paid his debt to society. They're white criminal realtors across this country. The whole subprime lending thing was rigged. Not one person got prosecuted, and they know they set those loans up to steal from black people. Not one conviction. Why is Donald Trump the only person that we know of that got convicted for having discriminatory housing practices? He's the only one. Why the hell is it just him? BlackRock is throwing niggas out all over the country. No one talks about BlackRock. And yet they're talking about what Donald Trump got busted for. Donald Trump paid his debt to society. And it's hypocritical. That's black folks grasping for something to say about Trump. And yet they don't deal with what's going on today. In particular, black mayors and black elected officials who've allowed gentrification, genocide all over this country without a fucking whimper.
Well,
Thanks for addressing that. Wait. I want to say, Dr. Thanks for addressing that question, because that was my initial reaction, or one of my initial thoughts towards that. Be like if he's black or has a black ancestry or DNA or whatnot, he's doing open. He has done discrimination, and like me
the
personally,
Boule
I'm
does
against
discrimination. The Boule, we're ruled by no good black traitors worthy of death who discriminate against us every day of our lives, and we never acknowledge that. And we want to talk about something he got busted for in the city of New York where he got convicted, just like he got convicted the other day. They nail his ass. They do not do that to white cops or anybody else, typically in New York, no matter what they do to black people. Why him? Why did they? This is twice. Why does he keep getting convicted? Why are they saying he doesn't have the right to do in real estate what everybody else does in real estate, which is to overpraise the value? Why are they doing to him what they do to black people in business? When black folks start doing stuff to make money, they illegalize it, they come against it. Isn't he being treated like a black man? I would say yes. I started noticing that. It began to blow my mind. Why are they doing?
Or he might be getting treated like an immigrant, like he is an immigrant. He immigrated over here. There's some of the foundational quote unquote white Americans that might have some animosity towards these newcomers.
Benjamin Franklin had animosity towards dark Germans, and that thing. Let's not increase the sons of Africa. They talked about how he didn't like Germans. Benjamin Franklin, they're too dark. They're not really white. He said that of Germans.
Hold on, let me play this here. And real quick, Brother Short. Brian Brown says he don't believe that story. He said you capped with that story.
Well, he's capped because he didn't know Alton Maddox in your dreams. See, I have people that can document that I knew Alton Maddox. So who does he know? And so whatever screen name he's hiding behind, that's his problem. I'm only telling you what Alton told me. Alton Maddox is a real person. Alton Maddox was a real fighter for black people. I never said anybody else told me this other than Alton Maddox. To say that Alton Maddox, a man that put his life on the line for black people for 50 years, is a liar for a person who's probably done nothing for anybody else in their life is crap. It's a lot of opinionated people who think that their opinions are equal to achievements and lifetime service. It isn't. So what, you don't like the story? I didn't like the story. That's the story I got from a black person I looked up to, who I followed because he's a fighter. And that's what he told me. And anybody in New York knows that Trump is a quid pro quo person. That Donald Trump would do all kinds of things for black people that nobody else in New York would do. Give people interest-free loans and forgive the debt when the people really did what they were supposed to do with the money. They don't even get that from black people. Why is Donald Trump celebrated by all these black organizations and groups for years until he ran for president? Then all of a sudden he became a totally racist person. That's strange. That's absolutely strange. But you know what? The same person accusing me of crap voted for Obama twice. And anybody criticizing me is probably an Obama voter, because most black people were stupid and got duped and went for Obama. And Donald Trump told the truth. The birth certificate for Obama is a fake. Trump told the truth. Nobody's race is African. I've seen the damn birth certificate. Africa is a continent. North Africa is classified as white. They would have had to have that whole and the person that did the birth certificate got killed in 2008 or 2009. So a lot of people mad at Trump. I don't care about Boule Shields, probably a Greek letter Negro at that. Divine swine people. I don't
part
care.
Of his frat or something?
Say what?
Because I say, is this the Alton guy? That is Alton is part of Brian's Brown's frat, or that he's a part of, or whatever his D9 thing. That's what I was asking.
I don't
what
know.
I noticed is, because when it comes across, it seems like this guy is signaling to me that he's a part of the same frat with this guy, and he's trying to say, well, because of he might not have direct association, but he's using that as a conduit, as to go between, which I think is some BS.
I don't. You know what? If Ultimatix was in the Greek letter stuff, if Alton was a Greek letter person, Alton got abandoned by them. They certainly didn't stand by him all the years he had his illegal things stripped off of him. Where were the people when they make you do all these stupid, shameful rituals? Where were they when Alton needed them? Where were they? I was at Alton's funeral, and the Divine Nine people, and they lied. They lied against Alton at his own funeral. Almost made me have a high blood pressure problem. And I have witnesses because I have my blood pressure thing. You can ask Brother Mike Graves of 100 Blacks in Law Enforcement That Care, Sister Keisha Forrester, that it was killing me listening to the lies from the Divine Swine at Abyssinia Church. The stuff that they were lying on for Alton. So whether Alton was Divine Swine or not, he did like Dr. King, who got kicked out of Alpha Phi Alpha, and Dr. King died a hero because he wasn't Boule when he died. They've reclaimed him. The Boule does to black people what white people do with black cultural production. They reject it and denigrate it as long as it's for us. And the minute it gets big and profitable, they claim it. The Boule does the same thing. Everyone black that does the best in our community that they hate, they wait until that person's dead, and then they claim that they're in their organizations and associations. Bullshit. We need to have a revolution against you coons and holes.
That's a form of, Dr. Short, that's a form of usury. And that should be actually outlawed to a certain extent.
Well, we need to outlaw it as a people. Martin Luther King was kicked out of Alpha Phi Alpha. And now they run around and act like, oh, he was one of their frats. You didn't want him when he was alive. In fact, the Greek letter people wrote an open letter to President Johnson saying they were against Martin Luther King. They basically did a Roman emperor thumbs down on Martin Luther King. They let white power know that you can kill Martin. We don't care. Just keep helping us. And that's the same relationship that the Biden coons have, the Biden sexual traitors. That's why it's like this.
Let me play this. Hold on. Let me play this track. All right. Let's see where we can find some of the the foundations of why they're outraged by Trump. Because I mean, even after Trump came out with grabbing the coochie, it didn't stop over 90% of women from voting for him.
But wait a minute.
So, and don't forget, white women voted for him in large numbers too.
But why are people mad about Trump grabbing a pussy that people wanted grabs, and yet we've got so much understanding for Diddy? Why?
Well, let's play this track here. This is why they might be mad. African Americans built this nation. I mean, what president had the nerve? You couldn't even get that out of your boy Obama. For all you stomp down Democrats. Hold on, let's play this.
We built this thing. You know, you're just starting to get real credit for that. Okay, I don't know if you know that. You're just starting to get, you built the nation.
Hold on. Uh-oh.
James, do you agree? The devil is a white guy. You said Trump is gonna be the devil. But niggas made money with Trump.
Yeah, niggas made a lot of money. I want to address something, Chef C. The person that's obsessed with Cornel West has Trump derangement syndrome. And I'm going to tell you, pedagogy, a lot of times you black folks that aren't involved in anything, you don't know what the hell you're talking about because you only go by what you read or you hear. Let me just say this. Donald Trump would have freed black political prisoners. I gave a list of people that Donald Trump's people should release. I got stabbed in the back by some of the black political prisoner groups, in particular Jericho. I went with the mind that something should be done for Assata Shakur, who I happen to think a hell of a lot of. As well, Jamil Al-Amin, H. Rap Brown. When I went to some of the black activists and said, hey, look, I got a link to people that work with Trump. Let's get these brothers and sisters out of jail. They put on a do not talk to DrRandyShort because these niggas would rather the black political prisoners that you're bitching about die in jail because they hate Trump so much. They have an issue with Trump getting some shine out of releasing some black people. So they let those people rot in there versus getting them out. So you know what? Donald Trump would have released anybody he was asked to. On the left, the Negroes that were committed to Obama and Biden did not ask Trump for anything. Trump released more black folks from jail than Obama many times over, Clinton many times over, Biden many times over, practically anybody. So it's bullshit that you're talking. You don't know what you're talking about. You have an asshole, you have an opinion. Donald Trump would have done it. Nobody with power, black, they weren't willing to back it. Donald Trump would have taken the pardon for Marcus Garvey posthumously. The very person that put it on Obama's desk, I went to school with. I said, give it to me. I'll give it to Roger. I'll give it to you. And Trump will do something for Marcus Garvey. Not that Marcus Garvey did anything. And Dr. Sullivan, who went to Harvard, who got fired by that bitch that looks like Urkel that was president of Harvard, gay, stopped talking because they didn't want Donald Trump to get credit for pardoning Marcus Garvey. You don't understand politics. You don't know what you're talking about. That's the last question I want from you. I've answered your question. You're trying to find a hypocrite, and you need to look in the mirror. Okay, so I might be wretched as a Republican, but wherever I go, I'm black. And I talk about reparations, black political prisoners, black farmers, black schools, black freedom. I know black Democrats and these other people, they don't do anything for black people. Once they get to the halls of power, they are very careful what they talk about. So these no good black folks that are supposedly radicals, it killed me. Why would you let this happen to Assata? I get it, you hate Donald Trump. Free Mumia. They say free Mumia, then damn it, free him. A lot of these black people, they use them. I'm talking about elite black people on the left. Use these people as fundraisers. Just like Jesse and these other people, I had a conversation with Malcolm X's grandson. Jesse Jackson got a lot of press that he was going to the prison to talk to Malcolm X's grandson, Malcolm Shabazz. Jesse Jackson went there, shook his hand, and never even spoke to him. We have radical black people who are supposedly progressive. They're just as trashy as what's Candace Owens or anybody else. It's a game. There's a game on the right and the left. The same way you have the Democrats and the Republicans, you've got Republicans and Democrats. And they're not doing anything to help black people. And if they know that you will help black, you get blackballed. I knew people who could have put on Donald Trump's desk freedom for black folks. Every person I asked for, they told me no. I'll tell you who. Alveda King. Alveda, why won't you guys do something for political prisoners? At least I asked. At least I asked. People like me are marginalized. If you give a damn about black people, you get excluded. And to get in the inner circle and to be in the photo ops, you're more than likely a coon. I don't want to be in the damn photos. I could care less if anyone knew me. Assata Shakur shouldn't have the damn bounty on her head. This shit incenses me. It incenses me that Jamil Al-Amin, those cops went to murder that man in his masjid. And he's in jail defending himself. If we're upset about that man that they killed down in Florida, then we should be upset that Jamil Al-Amin, H. Rap Brown, a major black leader and figure, is in jail, underground. And we have thousands of black political prisoners. The black elite, both Democrat and Republican, don't want real grassroots organized people out of jail. They would expose them. The black political prisoners are enemies of the black elite political class. They would rather those people be tortured, sodomized, bit by rats in supermax prisons, and exploited in the hole than to be out and get people to think. So if you really want to go off on people, go off on anybody black you see on television, anybody black you see in any position that supposedly represents us. Why the hell do we have to come and tell you about it? It should be your agenda to find things that you will do for black people. We don't do that. And we're more likely to bitch and nag at other black people who do the best that they can. And we see someone on television, they got, oh man, we show so much respect. We have a respectability idolatry in our community. Anybody that gets some success or some money or some shine, we just sit up and oodle at them as if they're doing something for us. No, they're doing something for themselves. Black athletes, black celebrities used to do stuff, not anymore. And it's our fault. We don't demand. If they have money and they're successful and they get in television, whatever, it's the same way. If a woman has a vagina, it doesn't matter how dirty, fat, ugly, she got a pussy, she's cool. Instead of wanting her to be regal, wanting her to have class, values, spirituality. It's our fault. Black political prisoners, Matula Shakur, when he came out of jail, I think this year, the year before last, people were hard up to send that man $20. Even once he got out on compassionate release. We're very shallow as a people. We're very fake as a people. We're passive aggressive and dishonest as a people. We ask the wrong people the right questions.
Stop right there, Brother Short. Hold on. I want to share something. This is what we need to share here. Let's make this make sense now. You know, this is Talbert Swan, for those of you who know. A salute to the over 90 plus in the building with us, right?
You mean Bishop Talbot Swan?
That's right.
You know he's Divine
I
Nine.
might have to pull up to his service.
He's Divine Nine. He's Boulay.
No. But that's not my point. That's not my point. I want to bring up something that he posted today. That was very interesting to me. Very interesting. Let's peep this, y'all. Let me share this thing. Let me see if I can share this. Now, what he posted, he's talking about the galvanization of funds in different areas when things take place. And it was interesting to me because, you know, the priorities with which we look at how we need to distribute stuff. Brother Talbot Swan, with me, and you know, Divine Nine or not, I'm talking about the numbers only. Derek Chauvin murdered black men, white people raised $2 million for. Okay, Kyle Rittenhouse, during the Black Lives Matter John, they raised another $2 million. Danny Pena killed a black man, raised $3 million. Okay, Donald Trump goes to jail, well, convicted, not even in jail yet. All right, convicted, 34 felonies. White people hit that man with 35 mil in 6 hours. Dude white people got their priorities?
That sounds about white. That sounds about white to me. That don't sound like no nigga treatment to me.
But you have to understand something. Donald Trump and the January 6th people who are being treated like niggas in DC jail, whether you agree with me or not, they are. Donald Trump is aligned with, at least in terms to get votes, with poor and working class white people who are hated by the elite. They're exploited less than black Americans, but ultimately they're broke. Donald Trump is a businessman. Donald Trump is for the rich, but Donald Trump has at least employed populism to appeal to people of the lower classes. They don't like that. And it's like Snowden is white, but when Snowden gave up those secrets, Snowden became black. When Robert Kennedy Jr. started talking about vaccines, Robert Kennedy Jr. became basically black. His family on TV denouncing him. I mean, just whites.
Why do we have to pick up? I have to push back on. Why do we have to pick up their or just because the dominant society views them as black, they're not black. I will position them to like a POC, people of color, because that's what they rep, or some other community. They don't have a black interest. So that will be kind of my pushback to that.
Yeah, but Donald Trump with the Platinum Plan does have a black interest. Okay, that's in fact the black elite in this country said we don't want anything for black people. We'd rather have nothing for black people and Trump not be president. So, to me, I'm not trying to make Donald Trump a black American in any stretch of the imagination. I'm trying to say to you, we had laws going back to colonial times. If white people did certain things like had sex with or hung out too much with black folks, they could lose their white status. White isn't a color. White is a status. That's what ignorant people don't get, which is why an Indian can come from India blacker than a cell phone and be white. And a black person with blonde hair, blue eyes is black. And the only place in the world that they're black is in the United States. It's a status, caste thing. And what Donald Trump has done, and anybody that goes up against these people, that includes Bobby Kennedy Sr., if you start doing things, these people have the capacity to withdraw the covering of whiteness, of white status, and just say, well, let's give him nigger treatment, or as they say in Louisiana, tar brush you, make you black in terms of status, which is what was the way you attacked your political enemies in Louisiana or in other places to bring up the possibility that someone was black. In Nazi Germany, you find that someone's got some Jewish ancestry. To hint of it, that you could have any connection, meant you could lose everything, which is a way of enforcing discipline among the white masses, that if you cross us, we'll do you just like black people.
Sure. Let me add to what you're saying.
Go ahead, Brother Wolf. You got the flow.
What's being missing is, even in your clip that you just shared with us, Chef C, when Donald Trump said, black Americans built America. Man, don't let that go over your head.
Well, hold on, Brother Wolf. Pause right there. Let me play the clip all the way through, and you gonna have the floor. Let's go, because some people aren't even familiar with this. Some people don't even know that he had the nerve to come out with his chest up and say this. Let's go.
African Americans built this nation. We built this nation. You know, you're just starting to get real credit for that. Okay, I don't know if you know that. You're just starting to get, you built the nation. We all built it, but you were such a massive part of it.
He has the nerve to delineate while he's saying that. Hold on, let's play it. Let's play it though.
Bigger than you were given credit for. Does that make sense? Right?
Is this the boogeyman your Democratic media talks about?
Yeah, don't you hear the hate and the kill Blackie?
Hold on, brother Shaw. Hold on. Let me say this. Listen, that boogeyman that we've been told about all these fucking years has yet to show up. However, you know what this boogeyman has done? He forgave all you step and fetch HBCUs. He forgave your debt. He's the man who did it. Your boy Obama didn't do it.
But Doc, watch this.
Go ahead, brother Wolf. You got it. Go ahead. Yes, sir.
Because that was the bully pulpit. Since we have church on Sunday, right? That message did not just resonate nationwide. That was a global audience. He was speaking to the UK, Africa, Brazil, Russia, anybody who had a television, who had a radio, who could pick up on the transmission. He said, Black Americans built this country.
And that's how he got cooked.
Okay?
That was the cooking.
Now, I posted something inside the chat that says this. Malcolm said, the thing that this country hates, we should like.
Exactly.
And the things we like, we need to hate.
Like Obama.
Okay? Garvey said, Marcus Garvey said, because this is what we are in America with Black Americans.
Come on.
He said if the Negro is not careful, he would have taken in all the poison of white society. He would die in it.
Come on.
Brother, you're witnessing a slow death in Black America.
That's right.
Because we literally taken in all the poison. We are the most degenerate. We are the face of the degeneracy.
Come on.
That's what you call taking in all the poison. And even when your former president could make this point that Black Americans built this, you still hate them? That tells them right there, man,
Cool.
I tell you, I am going to walk over millions of carcasses. You don't get it. They don't get it. They want to die. Man, you got people who really want to die. They can't wait to die. They want for somebody to crack the sky and kill half the world. They are psychopaths, man.
Come now, just keep it 100. Fuck it. Salute the over the 100 in the building right now. Psychopath mentality. This is kamikaze mentalities, brother Wolf. Niggas is kamikaze. They do. It's done.
So when I don't try to get too much into this Biden Trump piece because they both foxes.
Right.
You got a northern fox, then you got a southern fox. Which fox you want? You want one's gonna bite you when you reach your hand out to them, or the one gonna just take you in the wilderness and then bite you? Okay. I think we need to become like I said something earlier out on this broadcast. I said, look, we need to save ourselves.
Exactly.
And Peter said on the day of Pentecost, save yourself. We don't have the luxury to be so committed to one party or another party. When you can see right now, both parties are silent on giving $66 billion to people who are illegals.
Come on.
You won't give us nothing. Even after you hear the former president say these words, Black Americans built this country, and y'all getting credit for it. Man, miss me with Black America for that.
Hold on, let me play it one more time for the person in
Wait. We got two different extremes here. With Joe Biden, he mentioned at the HBCU that white supremacy was the greatest threat to the Black American community, right?
He would know.
We got one. So we got one that's talking about white supremacy over here, hypothetically, and we got the other one talking about economic empowerment, no matter how small it might be. So I'm hearing what you're saying, Dr. Short. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm just throwing it out there because I know that's what some of the brothers and sisters might be saying. Because I'm in the Twitter space. I talk to brothers and sisters, and that's what I hear from some of the brothers and sisters that are in my community. So that's the reason why I threw that out there.
But you know, it's
Yeah,
interesting.
you know what?
This,
Hold on, brother. Hold on. We got brother Q. I gotta hear from you on this, man. I got to hear from you because, again, you know, a lot. Like I said, a lot of people haven't heard this fucking clip right here, and they still buying into the boogeyman propaganda that keeps circulating. Oh, he's gonna all of that shit. But again, you got your quote unquote first black president, and you got your quote unquote first black VP, female VP, none of which admitted what this guy just admitted. You got the flow, brother Q.
Donald Trump said this while he was in the Oval Office.
Yes, he did.
This is an older clip.
That's a whole other game. Talk that.
I'll say this, right? It's a lot to unpack with what's going on with Donald Trump being convicted of 34 misdemeanors that they made 34 felonies. We have to really, really be honest with ourselves in policy. Has Donald Trump, when he was president, just ask yourself, when he was president, did any of his policies hurt you?
Keep it plain.
And in the last 40 years, while he was a senator, and then the vice president,
50.
and then the president,
last
has
50.
Biden's policies hurt you?
Yes. Last 50 years.
His policies, if we're being honest, was a direct result of mass incarceration.
Come on.
Who, whether we realize or not, whether you were into crime or not, it took away men out the family.
It took women out. Under the crime bill, the incarceration for black women went up 1,100%. It took mothers out of the home, and that resulted in the explosion in our children being sexually trafficked and child and family services. Biden and Clinton did this.
So when you look at just the policy, we all know, everybody say the same thing. It's two wings of the same bird, blah this, blah that. We're talking about policy that has directly affected black people, not POC, black people. Right now, for those that don't know, the First Step Act that Donald Trump signed while he was in office is being held up because all of the federal halfway houses are overcrowded and they're not releasing people who are nonviolent offenders out of the federal system.
Right.
And that happened the day that Biden was inaugurated.
Exactly, and they had to do lockdowns. They had to do lockdowns in prisons across the country.
I'm not
Hold
saying
on, brother Short. Let him get that off.
I'm not saying this off of hearsay. I have a brother in the federal system.
Right.
So this is not something that's, no, my brother's in the federal system. And he should have been home based off the First Step Act.
Let him cook.
So we're talking, when we want to talk about policy, personality, all that stuff, and if you're being objective, and you look at all the people who are celebrating Donald Trump being found guilty on 34 misdemeanors that were made 34 felonies, they're all the surrogate black Democrats who are getting the butter biscuits, who are literally getting what you're supposed to get. See, this is what happens. We talk about people gatekeeping. People are gatekeeping our community, and we're not getting shit for it.
Come on, talk.
Because they're telling us how to vote, who to vote for. You got people literally, and Chef C and myself is from the New York City area. Before Donald Trump got into politics, they loved this man. The New York City people love this man. He got into politics, now all of a sudden he's a racist. When he was giving Al Sharpton money, was he racist?
Was he racist?
When he was getting awards with Rosa Parks, was he racist?
Was he racist?
Was
So
he
we need
racist
to-
when he was giving those interest-free loans to
We
all
need
the
to
black
be-
folks? Was he racist?
And I never try to tell people who to vote for. I don't get into that. But I'm going to say that vote according to the policy that's going to benefit you, and you'll figure out who to vote for. We need to stop being gatekept in our community, because the people that's quote unquote look like us, that have the same skin tone on us, they're not helping you.
Come on.
They're not doing nothing for you. Not one thing they doing for you. They got people who are black Americans running around here more concerned about Palestine than they care about their own community that been getting their foot put in their ass for the last 200, 300 years.
Hey, brother Q, Palestinians are light-skinned dudes. They
And
probably want to
let's
hook
be
up
honest.
with Hamas. Those
And
folks at
let's be
Morehouse,
honest.
they want that RPG stuck inside of them. They'd compete
let's
with
be
the
honest.
tanks.
Well, hold
Let's
on. Let him
be
finish,
honest.
Short, brother Dr. Short.
One thing that we could all agree upon with Palestinian and what's going on, it's upsetting, it's hurtful, it's sad. That war could stop tomorrow if they wanted it to.
If Biden wanted it
fact.
to.
That's a fact.
If the United States government, the government of Saudi Arabia, if they want that war to stop tomorrow and say enough is enough, it'll stop. We need to stop caping for this bullshit and be honest.
Can I?
These same,
Wait,
black,
can I respond?
these same black elites that's telling us who to vote for, they don't even live in the community that they talking to.
But they're getting bribed by Biden. The Divine Nine and the other people are getting money. They've been getting it since 2021 because there's a relationship between the Biden administration and the Greek letter, the Divine Nine. They're working with the SBA, and they're getting money and grants and stuff. This is why there's silence from everything that you would consider as black leadership, because they've been paid. The churches, everybody's been bought, and they're watching us die. And I'm telling you, I don't advocate it, but I'll tell you something. If we were another group of people and this was going on, a lot of black folks that are respectable would be shot dead, hung, stabbed, houses burned. That's how it would be handled. This is why certain people don't betray as much in other communities as ours. There's no consequence for a black traitor in our community. As a result, if that person has a big house and a big car and they destroyed everybody else, people say, man, he's got a big house and a big car. It's the same way we look at a woman. She can have STDs, AIDS, bastards. She's got a big ass. We are very, very, very degenerate in our logic and our thinking. And that's why I tell people, we need God. Black people need to rediscover God. We need salvation because we are in such a morally depleted state that we accept this. And anyone like Lone Wolf or whoever, crying out like prophets in the Old Testament, begging people not to be genocided, and they can't get a hearing. Can't get a hearing. But if, man, right now, if we were talking about fat booties and clapping asses, we would have hundreds more people listening. Because the people now are so base, they've been conditioned and shaped to be filthy and detestable, and that's where we are.
Gentlemen. I'm going to add something here, and then I want to hear from all of y'all. I want to go one by one, right? And this is a stat, gentlemen. This is a crazy-ass stat. When we try to track down where a lot of the bullshit started coming into our communities, or even the separation of that nuclear family, right? You're going to find, when I throw this chart up, that there's one thing in common when you talk about any candidate, and let me be very clear, I'm not caping for either one of these, but when you talk about policy, right, like my brother Q just went through, right, when you talk about policy, you got to ask yourself one question: who was there to implement policy and who wasn't? When you see this chart, let me show y'all something. Speak this, family, and make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, y'all. You find value in this, make sure you hit the cash apps as well.
We are coming with some shit today. Look at this chart, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Look at this chart. Now look at the dates. I want y'all to pay attention to these damn dates. Okay? And you gotta ask yourself, right? Black women are more likely to be married than white women, but here's what we need to pay attention to: the percentage. Never married among women ages 35, etc. Bottom note. What you're gonna see down there, ladies and gentlemen, and this, I'm trying not to sway nobody. This is just the facts, and this is coming from United States Census, ladies and gentlemen. This ain't Chef C rhetoric. This ain't me. This is the census. Okay. And shout out to my man, brother Snooks, for this. We was building on this. Look at the stats, and you ask yourself, when you started seeing that big separation, black women being married, right? It started happening around 1950-ish, right? And it kept climbing. Then you must ask yourself, ladies and gentlemen, who was in office? Who was in office, not presidential, but still had participation and could say something about what's been going on in our community since those times? There's been several pivotal periods.
Oh, that mammy in California. That mammy in California. You know what I'm talking about.
No. Hold on. Follow me on this. Peep this. And salute to the over 110 in here with us right now. When you start seeing the separation between the black American women and black men being under one household together, married, right? What happened during 1994?
Clinton.
Biden, 94 crime bill.
And Clinton, who signed
and Clinton.
it. Mm-hmm.
They got, now go back. Let's keep going through. We have major events, y'all, that contribute to the separation of these households, right? Being under the same building. Of course, 2000, we had the major crash where it was fucked up for economically. We had the crash, right? But ladies were still getting their food stamps and shit during then, right? You was being financially incentivized to keep the dude up out the house, which then creates this degenerate environment that now is breeding. You got a whole bunch of single moms raising boys, raising girls. Look at the stats. It ain't.
And this is how you get this Vivica Fox saying that she wants any student or men and not get no pushback on any platform at all. You don't even hear a peep about it. Yeah, we had some bad times.
People didn't like it, but Clarence Thomas called his sister a welfare queen.
Right. Ain't that some shit? But look at Clarence. He over there booty clip pause. Over 110 and plus in here. But I'm talking about stats. The numbers are the numbers. You can't deny that, y'all. But again, you got a president, your current president, that niggas is still crashing out over. Okay? He's been in office for 30 years is what I'm trying to make math for everybody. 30 plus years.
50
you find
plus.
value in what we bring in here.
50 plus. 50 plus years, sir. Not 30.
What?
50.
Well, there you even worse. Go talk that talk, brother Dr. Short. Let me
50
drop this.
plus years.
Hey, Chef C.
Yeah.
He has a distinguishing thing. President Biden. When a crime bill is signed, right?
Right.
All of the yay and nay when they vote on the crime bill,
Right.
they have to sign it.
Right. Well,
President Biden has the most distinguishing mark out of any politician in U.S. history.
Come on.
His name is on every crime bill for the last 50 years.
Cook that nigga, let me kill. Cook him. But you niggas is jumping off the Empire State Building for Biden. Talking about change gonna come. Get the fuck out of here.
But Chef,
And guess what? We gonna make it simple.
Chef,
Let's make it very, very simple right now. Okay? Biden is the one who told you his patience was running thin. He's also the guy who said, I would never mandate, but then turned around and mandated all of y'all. and said, you know what, if you don't put this shit into you, if you don't become my son, if you don't become my son and get this shit shot in your arm, you're not gonna be able to keep a roof over your kids' heads. And I'll make sure of that.
So when we look at policy,
Hold on, brother Q. 1 second. I need to say this though. Let me put this chart. Guess who wasn't around with none of this? Huh? Guess I make it easy for you. Guess who wasn't around to implement none of this shit?
Trump.
So for all of you crash outs that's still going with this boogeyman shit because you didn't like him saying a couple things. Son of a bitches, all of that, blah, blah, blah. That was whatever. You've been called worse by your parents, by your cousins. Get the fuck over it, y'all. And this is not me advocating for the guy. This is me just saying policy has really destroyed our families over the decades. And the loyalty to this vote blue, no matter who, got all of us down right now.
Chef,
Yes, sir.
I think it's even deeper than that.
Well, let's go where we gotta go.
I think when you look at the cognitive dissonance that's being displayed in our community, it's very, very destructive. My mind goes back to the pandemic, right?
Right.
When people were literally drawing lines in the sand about friends and family.
Crazy. Come on.
The hatred, the visceral hatred that people were showing towards each other about, are you vaccinated or you're not vaccinated, right? You couldn't even get through to black people then. You couldn't get through. Fast forward down 4 years later.
Not at all.
You still, the same ones who had that vitriol about, you're killing us without getting the shot. Now they're saying nothing. But they get so much to say about this Trump piece, right? The same vitriol, the same hatred. No logic, not logical, just pure hatred. That's why I said, man, I wash my hands with our people.
Hey, Brother Wolf, 1 second. A word from Mr. Farrakhan.
Scared to death, Negro.
All right, sir. Yeah. Go ahead, Brother Wolf.
Again, when you see that a people is so consumed with their own demise, you got to step back from them and let them get the consequences of their actions.
Absolutely.
When you see a people who are determined to die, who welcome death, watch this. People were so enamored with Biden cussing, C-U-S-S-I-N-G, that they forget that Biden cursed the black people with that crime bill, C-U-R-S-E.
Come on. Easy work today, y'all.
When he read that crime bill and it was signed into legislation and it became law, that became a curse, man. But they can't see the curse.
Is Biden the creator of the lineal curse?
Yes.
Against our people, the historical lineal curse against our men. I think you posed a very strong question, and I really like that.
Well, let me go back to Brother Q. I don't want Q to miss his word, but I had to say that, Q. You know, this is where we are, man. And finish your build, though, bro. I mean, the numbers are the numbers.
I won't. I could add on to what Brother Negro was about to say.
Yes, sir.
I won't say he's a curse, because the thing with Biden is, literally, if you watch what happened, is James Clyburn kinged him. And it's always going to be a black sellout that's going to king people. James Clyburn kinged him. We got what we deserved because James Clyburn shouldn't have been in the position he was in. because he ain't did shit for South Carolina since he been there.
And he's
His
Divine
district.
Nine.
And he kinged that man. And now we're gonna get more years of him if he wins. And this is what happens. He should have never been kinged. He should have never. Even when he signed those crime bills, that '94 crime bill, he got kinged by the black elite. The gatekeepers kinged him. They co-signed it, and then said, "Had we known the ramifications, we
Bullshit,
wouldn't."
they knew. They did too know. Look, the black people that are successful don't care if the unsuccessful black people die, the same way that white folks who are rich don't care about broke white people. It is stupid ass black Americans that walk around with this romantic view that when you become wealthy and black and rich people are nice. I heard this from my stupid ass grandfather, that rich people weren't racist. It was just poor people. Poor white people are the problem. Rich white people love us. And there are a lot of dumbass black people walking around thinking, once you get rich, everybody's the same. Bullshit. Bullshit.
I heard a brother say this today. He said, I don't know if karma is true, but when is the 1% gonna start getting theirs? They don't care about us.
Right.
We've never if you see a black person, like Lone Wolf said, the advice that Malcolm said, if you see them telling you to go right, you better go left. Because they don't mean you any good.
The successful black people in this country do not care if the rest of us die. We're the only people I've ever met that worship.
Hey, Brother Short, they can't care if the majority don't care. Niggas is deers in the headlight.
No, they're
So
not. No,
that
no. Negroes are whore clout chasers. They're not mad at Diddy wanting people to eat cheesecake out of his ass. They want to be in a position to demand people eat cheesecake out of their ass. The black American is a wannabe instead of being who they are. We are wannabe. Our people rank and file are wannabes. I mean, ghetto fabulous, bushy. It's all an imitation of something that isn't real. Rich white folks don't flaunt and do shit with money like dumbass Diddy and Oprah and other people do. They don't do that. And these people don't really, in fact, they don't really care what really is. It's the same way I always bitch about this. Black folks say, we should be like the Jews. It's a fucking lie. We don't want to do stuff like Jews. Like invest in each other and stick together. We talk it, but we have no desire to live it. The scriptures say, be ye not just hearers of the word, but doers. We know what's right to do. We hear niggas talk about, oh yeah, well, I'm big on education. That's the big bullshit, boule, divine nine, liar, elitist, nigga, cop-out. Education. You say education, right? And then everybody's disarming. I mean, all of our PhDs in education, we have all these PhDs, 50% of our PhDs in education, and we've gotten stupider and stupider and more illiterate every year. We only go with what we see, which is shallow, it's ungodly. If you had discernment, you'd be able to see through stuff. In reality, black people, when the family also started falling apart, Chef C, is at the same point in which the black community began to turn against true religion. People had no use for God. A lot of the murders and drugs and suicide, these people have no, we don't talk about it, but black folks have become a pagan, godless, deviant people. You can see this with all the entertainers, these people, I mean, Little Nas X, people worshiping the devil openly. You couldn't do this stuff. Even if you thought it. When Sammy Davis was in the Church of Satan, he didn't put that on blast. You couldn't do that not too long ago. It's changed. We've changed. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to offend people. I don't care. A big part of the problem in our community is that we've become feminized. And I'm going to say this, ladies, I don't care if you're offended. Women have a different spirituality from men. They just do. And the very, very dangerous influences that men in our culture have stopped being God-fearing men. In fact, my whole life I would hear this thing, and I noticed that we have a culture of, even in the church, you have Holy Ghost pussy worship, and you got street pussy worship. You go to church and people tell you the women are more spiritual than the men. Bullshit. Have you ever talked to a pastor who gives the pastor all the problems, who ties up all the time, who does this and creates drama and shit? It's not men in the church because it wouldn't be tolerated. They will throw your ass out of the church so fast for asking a question. You can do something very small and you're done as a man in church. Women, babies, let's like this trans shit. Everything that you see super confusing in the culture now, a lot of it is linked to women being out of order and men standing down, sitting on their hands. I mean, they got a blowjob. I mean, I guess now we got blowjobs and you can have anal sex and so forth. We've traded godly manhood for sexual mess of pottage. And it has degraded our women as well as it's degraded us. I mean, I'm just telling you, in other countries, women can't walk around almost virtually naked and no one say anything. And what most do say, man, she's got a big ass. She looks like a fucking fool with her ass practically exposed in public. These Negroes at these Hollywood parties and all this nasty clothing. It's nasty, but it all comes with Baal worship, pussy and dick worship. More so pussy than dick. This is where black folks are. We have turned against God. We've become a Satanist community. The Satanists are in control. And evidence of that is us not having spiritual discernment. When God leaves the people, people become stupid like we are right now. And I want to say for anyone that wants to point to any religious institution, Christian or otherwise, if they were effective, why haven't they been able to counter this decline that has been rapid? That's everybody, even big name people, religious, not just Christian. Why haven't they? All black religious groups are shrinking. Church attendance, everything is falling. One, people don't go because they don't stand for anything or represent anything for real. Or they've been hijacked by degenerates.
Hey, Dr. Short, let me ask you a question as you know I like to message you as the elder amongst us, right?
I'm not the elder.
What happened when our religious organizations used to be the bedrock of black liberation in this country? What happened?
Most black organizations that are religious have never been the bedrock of black liberation. That's a mistake. When religion is the bedrock of a people, it's when religion is practiced in the home. If it's performed in a structure that many people misnomer as a church, that's performative. Where you see the black churches empty today, white churches were like this in the 60s and early 70s. When white churches, basically people were going to church for years performing. When religion is real, it's when it is lived in your household, how you treat one another. You don't have the same rates of divorce or illegitimacy or suicide or mental illness. That's evidence that people are being kept by their relationship with that source of power that only comes from God. Black people, okay. The black church, in particular black ministers, let's go all the way back. The AME Church, the oldest established black church, has had an ambivalent relationship with black freedom. They had to be for it at one point, not because they're hard to... In fact, that's at the core of the problem with black Americans. They look at how when black people used to be forced to be together, white people made us be together. Black people did not have the desire to be together, not everybody. And we don't love one another, we don't love God, we don't want unity. We basically want to blend in with white people, and that's what This segregation and this other stuff has allowed us to basically take all the values and degeneracy of white people and wear it like it's, the emperor's new clothes. The church has not and never will, because it's a business, or should I say the architecture that is religious. These institutions are about making money and paying pulpit pimps. It is not about the salvation of the people. There is no black major denomination in this country that was established with the spiritual nurture and the liberation of black people in mind. Like I said, the AME church was created because they were driven out of a white church. The white people spitting on them, kicking them in church, and only when they couldn't take being abused. Okay, you won't take us. We'll set up a church. We'll still be connected to you, but we'll meet somewhere else. It didn't say, hey, wait a minute. Fuck this. If God tells me I've got to be with people who spit and kick on me and beat me in church, I need to break off on my own. What happened with the AME Church and the AMEZ Church, the African Methodist Episcopal Zion Church, was the same. Blacks who were abused so heavily until they quit going to church with whites, they set up a companion church that would still be connected, sucking the tit of a white church, because legitimacy comes from white people, not from us. There's nobody above me but God. But that isn't the logic of self-hating black Americans. So they wanted to still be up under the white people that hated them. And somehow they'd get hazed. Like, that's probably why the fraternities and sororities are so popular. A lot of our people are masochistic. They think we're supposed to get shitted on. And maybe you'll love me if you keep pissing on me, right? What happens is when the white churches said, oh my God, our niggas went out and built a church. Well, they're under our authority, and since they wanted to be in relationship with us, we're going to go and take the real estate away. And only when they were going to take the brick and mortar did the AME Zion and AME Church say, we can't do this. So it wasn't about respect or God or righteousness or justice. It was about property and money for the few, not for all the people, because if they were really thinking about all the people that were coming to them, they wouldn't have needed the white folks to try to take their building for them to want to break off so they could control it. I wrote in a very short paper the anti-nationalistic impulse in black Protestantism, that black people do not want to be. The people who are in charge have historically been against us being free, against us being a people with self-respect, integrity, and dignity. They don't want it. You see this in the Boule. You see this in the Negroes under Biden. You see it in the Republicans who told Trump that black people didn't need anything. I actually know the brother that wrote up the Platinum Plan. He and I have the same adversaries of the black Republicans who didn't want to do anything for black people. These folks simply want to be a part. In other words, black people worship white people. Black people's God is white people. In Orthodox Christianity, that's Satanism, to put a man or people in God's place. So the black church has always been satanic. Until it sees God Almighty as the sole source of all authority, information, and everything, then it's a heresy. And so if the black church were really a Christian institution, I'm not talking about people that go there, I'm talking about the leadership and everything else. Reparations and all this stuff is come on, it's a no-brainer. If you've got God on your mind and your heart. It's something that they have to have studies and conferences on when they want to bullshit, when they're really more concerned that white folks are pleased and like them and don't shut them down. Okay, so the black church has never been. There have been black pastors, there have been black congregations, there have been black individuals that wanted liberation and freedom, but not entire groups, because in reality, We are highly inconsistent as a people. We're hypocritical. We're frauds. Okay? I can just give you, I mean, I wish we were not. So I'm thinking about my parents and stuff that they did that was complete bullshit. Like telling you, don't fight when you go to school. Their asses never went to school with white kids. What do you mean, don't fight? Then I come up, if I had blood stains on my clothes, little bitch ass mom's gonna say, well, yeah, stains on your clothes. Then you pop someone in the head so you don't get your nose busted. Then why are you fighting? Because a lot of our people aren't into processes. We're very emotional and illogical. We just want, I hear people, man, it's 2024. I can't believe we're still talking like this. Often it's stupid ass emotional men from single parent households. The passage of time, can you imagine if you're in a gas chamber that Hitler puts you in, the more time you spend in the gas chamber, the more likely you're going to die. It's not like the gas is going to go down. I mean, why are we so stupid? So in reality, no, the black church has not been for liberation. If the black church had been for liberation, they would have dealt with money, they would be dealing with family, and it would be instituted. For example, you had a great African Methodist Episcopal Bishop, Henry McNeil Turner. They haven't had, and he died in 1915, they haven't had a senior bishop in the AME church equal to him in over 100 and almost 110 years. They don't, because these people are Masonic. The Masons run the churches. The Masons and then the Greeks. So the evil people in our community run everything. And we're caught up in what they look like. They look like us. We know them. They're in our family. We've got some access. So therefore we don't criticize them. So in a nutshell, you can't be for liberation and freedom if you have no belief in an all-powerful God that can deliver. And then two, if you have no rules, no covenant, no morals, no laws. And black people are a lawless people. Okay, if we were law-abiding amongst ourselves, even with mass incarceration, there'd be fewer of us in jail. There are a whole lot of law-breaking, liar, no-good, trashy black people. And I don't want to try to save or carry people who don't give a damn. The church is a failure. It was founded, I have my little slave Bible. The only reason that white people have tolerated Christianity among black people is there's a mutual understanding between black religious leaders and whites that preachers would keep black people stupid, passive, and weak. And that's how they got their tax-free income, and that's why their churches didn't get burnt down or shut down. So the church is a fraud. Not God, not gospel, not the music, not the good people that go, but the black church leadership, for the most part, are bankrupt traitors, worthy of being in. If black folks had a Guantanamo, thank God I'm not dictator of black America, because I'd arrest T.D. Jakes, but their asses would be picked up. I'd go by their house, just pick all their asses up, lock them up. These people have deliberately betrayed the gospel and betrayed the people. And they've done it the whole time through. And no matter what it is, look, dudes, I know what it's like to be over at the National Progressive Baptist headquarters. They raised all kinds of money for Katrina. Do you think that that money reached the people in New Orleans that these black preachers built people out of? Do you know every time they have disasters, these black churches steal money and do all these things to black pastors? It's so bad. As I always say to people, I got blackballed for ordination because I didn't think Jesus was gay. Because I didn't think Jesus screwed the disciples. They didn't think I was qualified to be a minister. And by the way, Jeremiah Wright is in this group of pastors. Okay, so when you guys talk about all these great people, I don't see the shit y'all talking about.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, I want to say this. It's time for me to get the hell up out of here, but I want to play this one more time.
African Americans built this nation. We built this nation. You know, you're just starting to get real credit for that. Okay, I don't know if you know that. You're just starting to get, you built the nation. We all built it, but you were such a massive part of it. Bigger than you were given credit for. Does that make sense? Right?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. You know what? Listen. Go ahead, Brother Wolf.
I said, and he doubled down on it. He said it once, he said it twice, so you can hear him real clear.
Yeah. He. This. Shout out to Barack Obama, your first black president, though.
Ofaga.
Right. Shout out to Kamala Harris, your first black VP. Shout out to Ketanji Brown, your first Supreme Court bullshit.
Feminist.
There you go. None of these folks, I mean none, even Clyburn, the selected chosen Negro, none of them stood 10 toes on our contribution, let alone innovation, foundation, this fucking country, none of them. But you got this dude, and salute to over 120 of y'all in here. And y'all still many of y'all still want to believe the boogeyman. Bullshit. Even while some of you was getting stimmies because of him. Huh? You was getting stimmies. You was getting that child credit. Huh? You ate more fucking crab legs than you have ever eaten in your life. Lobster, filet mignon, nigga. Going on trips. All of which happened under this man's presidency. Are we gonna keep it going? Are we gonna keep this 100 today? Yeah, Q. Nobody's gonna say that though, but they gonna have you crash out. They gonna have you keep crashing out. Many of you gonna get your booty to the poll and vote for Biden. That's what you're about to do. You're salivating at the chance.
You know what, Chef C? There's a comment in my chat. Donald Trump and reparations, I think he could be tapped for it. The people that are around Trump that can get to him, even the black Democrats didn't talk to Trump when Trump said come see him. They didn't take reparations to Trump. Nobody's been going to Trump on reparations. And the people around Trump, a lot of the folks, Steve Miller, he's got racists that don't want this. However, none of the black pastors, preachers, in fact, Donald Trump's buddy that died in 2020, I got in trouble. I was in a meeting with black Republicans, and I started talking about Republicans. And Donald Trump's bishop friend says, I'm not a coon. I says, I never accused you. Okay. Are you self-conscious when you hear the word coon? And everybody went, ooh. It's like, so I got in trouble. No, there are a lot of coons, but I want to remind this brother, there was a person, Blacks for Trump. The man's name is Herman Cain. When Herman Cain got Blacks for Trump to agree that they were going to demand reparations for black people, he was dead within 5 weeks.
Come on.
Okay, and I told the friend of mine that knew Herman, get to him. I can get him some medication. If not, they're going to kill him. You won't see him again if you don't get to him in the next 2 weeks. He couldn't get to him. He was dead a little over 2 weeks later. There were black people that were independent and Republican that wanted reparations. It wasn't the majority, because the same thing you have on the Democratic side, you have on the Republican side. You have Greeks, you've got Coons, you've got Boule, you've got Masonic. These folks are fake. They did not ask Trump. Trump asked people what did they want, and he was told by a room full of people in the White House that Donald Trump shouldn't do anything special for black people.
Come on.
This is what and the people like me were, when you speak up, those of you who are not outspoken or involved, the black people that speak up are outcast by the niggas that y'all look up to. Black people don't get behind folks who speak up for them because they're not going to be popular or have money. Folk are going to want you to give them cars and houses and shit. When you start talking about the real deal, they attack your economics. Dr. King died broke. Marcus Garvey, the tether, died broke. Medgar Evers was shot when he was broke. Adam Clayton Powell was broke. Malcolm X was broke. Fred Hampton was broke. Huey Newton, when he died, was broke. Nobody that stands up for your sorry black asses is rich.
Come on.
That's the price of speaking up for your dusty black asses, is that you don't have anything. They attack you economically.
Wait, Dr. Short, I got a question.
And let me finish this, though.
Wait,
And so
okay.
my point, people, is that the black people that would fight for you, like the political prisoners and other people who spend 40, 50, almost 60 years in jail, for your sorry black asses, people are not with them. We're phony. We don't back our great people. Our heroic people, their asses are on their own. And yet we're with the people that stab us in the back and stab us in the front and betray us. So in reality, it's our immorality collectively that fuels this. We invest in our own genocide, economically and spiritually. It's a choice to be for elimination, and that's a choice many of us have made. Go ahead, brother Negro.
Yeah, it's about the women aspect. I noticed throughout history, when it comes to women activists, they don't die broke like that, unless like you have extreme cases like Dr. Frances Cress Wilson.
She wasn't broke when she died, and I wouldn't call. She wasn't an activist. She was a thinker. She was an academic. She's a brilliant woman. The women that speak up. Ida B. Wells wasn't rich when she died. The real black woman. I'm not talking about the society bitches with the hats. We're talking about real black women like what's her name? Fannie Lou Hamer died broke. The real black women that are in the trenches with us get the same treatment, which is what a lot of black women know. If you don't want to be treated like a black man, you better not go hard on blackness, which is why they don't mind putting black women in, because they know they won't go as hard. Because women, if anything, women are thinking about money. By the way, I got a Kamala joke. Why does Kamala Harris like going shopping?
Why?
Because there are lots of bags.
Listen, gentlemen. This is a phenomenal fucking conversation, but it's time to crank this thing down.
Okay,
So,
well, treat us
with that
right.
being said, Brother Negro, let them know some of the things you got coming down the pipeline, how they can get a hold of you, etc., sir.
Yeah, we have Sovereignty Day that's going to be coming up on Juneteenth Day. For those that are interested, please reach out and click on the links that are on our X channel or on our X what do you call it, account. That's the Negro Black Knights Heritage Club. I'm gonna be also participating in Pat Talk or the Pat Summit. I will hope to see brothers there. Please be supportive of it. I'm definitely very, very anxious about the situation because we get to talk about a lot of different things. So that can help improve our community, make it a better place for our people and our progeny. That's what matters most, you know. So I definitely want to pass off the mic back to you, Chef, and thanks.
Salute to the Brother Negro, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go to Brother Q. Brother Q, let them know how they can get a hold of you, some of the things you got coming down the pipeline for next week, Brother Q.
I can be reached at ltalk5600@gmail.com. As of right now, I don't have much planned. I'm in the process, like I said the other day, I'm in the process of moving, but I'm here. My ears to the street as always, and we'll see you next time we decide to broadcast. Next time we decide to do something, just know that the Rally for Reparations Conference is coming up June 15th. I know that, unfortunately, because of some circumstances, I'm not going to make it, and it's a lot of Juneteenth events going on. I just want people to realize when they go to these Juneteenth events, don't get angry that the event has been turned into a party, because that's what most of them go to. Go there and educate people on the significance of why Juneteenth is now a national holiday. We got to stop being angry about shit, but go there and try to change it.
Or set up our own damn events. Stop thinking people are going to do for you. Who's going to wipe your ass? The people who actually pay for their asses to be wiped in assisted living have bed sores. Wake up, damn it.
Also, if you see them using Pan-African colors and stuff, please send them our way. We're very interested in pushing a class action lawsuit against those.
It's very important that a lot of times we think people know, they don't know. You gotta educate people.
Black folks don't read, they don't think, and they don't like to be informed. They know everything, and if you knew everything, why don't you know the way to freedom and power?
Well, salute.
Long live Donald Trump. Long live our soul brother. Long live Donald Trump.
You got your last
I know Donald Trump got the dolphins. Really?
Just all I can say is, like Dr. Short said, that don't be a person that wants to remain ignorant. You want to at least be able to protect yourself and your family from what's going on. So,
Salute to you, but let me go to the brother Juan B. Alone with himself. Brother Juan, let him know what you're
If you want to reach me, go to lwftraining.com. That's lwftraining.com. You will see me at Juan J. Johnson on Facebook, Juan J. Johnson on Twitter or Social X. You see me as Lone Wolf on YouTube. I got quite a few outlets, Instagram too. I'm easy to reach, but I will say this, family, I'm going to continue to train you how to become responsible gun owners, gun users, right? But I've made up my mind that a lot of us would rather, we have a death wish. We want to die. And I'm not gonna save you. I'm not gonna jump in front of the bus to get you. I'm not gonna order train. If I see you on the street, I'm gonna move to the other side. Okay? Because I'm applying that principle that Peter said on the day of Pentecost. Save yourself. Save yourself, family. A lot of these folks, they don't want to be saved. They are literally praying for their own demise. And they love this foul, immoral degeneracy. They love it. I'd rather just step back from you or them and let whatever falls them fall. I promise you this, on everything I love, I will be stepping over a lot of carcasses. I promise you this, because that's what you want. And I'm gonna give it to you. Brothers, whether they tune in or not, we've left stuff for posterity, for that next generation, those maybe 7-year-olds, 8-year-olds, 10-year-olds will come across our videos and say, you know what, was there anybody out here standing 10 toes down? They will come across Patriot Pat Talk, or On Their Necks, or The Negro, or Let's Talk To. They're gonna see our videos. Dr. Short's Angry Man, they're gonna see us. And I'm saying this because I will not have the same lot as my forefathers, the Malcolms, the Margarets. I'm not going out like that. I made a conscious decision going up. I'm gonna get some billions. Okay? I'm gonna get some billions. Okay? Working on that right now. But again, bless you. God keep you all. I wish you nothing but health, happiness. I want you to have the love you want. I wish you success. I wish you prosperity. I wish for you all the resources you need for your next assignment. And I want you to have unlimited money with the guns. Long with the done.
Most definitely.
Brother Dr. Short, sir, you got the floor. Let them know what we got shaking, what's coming down the pipeline, etc., sir.
I want everybody to know, especially if you follow me on YouTube, we are having I'm helping to host a conversation with a presidential candidate, Randall Terry, on Thursday. At Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will have a Zoom call with Randall Terry where we need to let Mr. Terry know, who's looking for votes, what we demand of anyone that wants our support, even if, and to me, it's not about endorsing anyone. I believe that other people who are connected will be hearing your questions about reparations and anti-black crime bill, about illegals. We need to get the word reparations in everybody's damn mouth. This man is on the right, and that's okay. I work on the right, other people work on the left, but ultimately we're working for our people. I'm going to send that out. In fact, it's on my YouTube feed, and it's on my Instagram. I'll start posting around. But Thursday, Eastern Standard Time, we're going to have a Q&A with Randall Terry, the presidential candidate for the Constitution Party. And it's a conversation for just we black Americans. No one else should be there. We need to educate this we need to educate this man like we ain't ever educated anyone, because it's going to be followed by the other political people, because they're very concerned about what we're going to do in November. And we need to put the word reparation, everything, in Mr. Terry's mouth. That is Thursday, June 6th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 12 midnight. Maybe we'll get 4 hours to ask questions, to have a conversation. But in particular, we got to push our issues. This is what Jews do. Jews talk to all the parties. They all want the same thing. I'd love your participation. If you have any questions, you can call me. Not call me, but email me at wrandyshort@gmail.com, 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 and I can forward you the Zoom link if you didn't see it anywhere else. We're going to be putting this up. I'm going to be putting that on the wonderful card that Chef C put together. I want to remind everybody, on June 15th, we're going to have a reparations rally here in Washington, D.C. Brother Tariq Nasheed and many other people will be here. I absolutely want you guys to come. I'll be one of the speakers. I hope this time I get to say what's actually on my mind. Hint, hint, hint. It's going to be June 15th here in Washington, D.C. Be there. Last but not least, we want to have in our kickoff Black Patriarch Summit on August 24th, 2024. We need money. We anticipate we need to raise at least $1,500. Actually, we want to raise $2,000 by the last week of July. If we don't get that money, if y'all sit up and whine and complain about what nobody's doing, if we don't have that, I'm of the opinion that Chef C, as the business brains behind this, we won't have it. So we will have this summit, but we need to secure a deposit, we need to secure security, and we need to pay for that in advance. We have gotten a few hundred. Thank you, everyone that has given. We need at least another $2,000 to go forward. And people can give it in small amounts. And Chef C pretty soon will have the fiduciary means for me to just pour money. We have a GoFundMe. All you need to do is look up Patriarch Summit. I've sent that all around. I've sent it everywhere. I'll keep sending it. And pretty soon I'll start using it in our lives. We need that. We want to do that. I want to let you know that that's working. There are people all over the country that want to be involved, both virtually and physically, and we like your involvement. We also will be doing things, calls for papers and other things. We're going to drop some stuff this week about what you can do to participate in the Patriarch Summit, whether you can come or not. If you can't come, can't make it, it would cost a whole lot to travel. Why not drop it on us for us to facilitate it, and it will be recorded. Last but not least, so that's the GoFundMe. Please send it, or as well, if you Cash App, $ Dr. Randy Short, $ Dr. Randy Short, $ Dr. Randy Short, $ Dr. Randy Short, $ Dr. Randy Short. If you do Zelle or PayPal, wrandyshort@gmail.com, wrandyshort@gmail.com, wrandyshort@gmail.com is the Zelle and PayPal. And I hope before this week concludes that we will have a post office box for all the very snail mail oriented people where you can send a contribution. I will have very clear instructions on where to send it and how the check has to be, or money order has to be made out for those people who like to contribute in that way. I want to thank everybody that's given thus far, and I'm looking forward. I will only mention that we have a cutoff date to let people know it's urgency. People are talking about what people don't do. A lot of it has to do with the fact that people who do stand up don't have the backing of their people. Last but not least, I'm looking for sisters, warrior sisters. We are beginning to preliminarily gather women that want to be a part of the auxiliary to the Black Patriarch movement. This will be a consultative and cooperative body that we work with, because we won't get out of this unless we brother and sister, mom and pop our way out of it. We are something as a collective. We're weak as individuals. I can't do anything without your help. I can just be an opinionated, educated person. If everybody does their part, we will have this summit and other subsequent activities. It's left to you. Black men, you guys need to be more generous. Sisters got y'all beat. Not all of you. Some brothers are amazing. We need to give more. We're not asking people for millions. We're asking people for hundreds. The people that are pushing Depo and pushing mass incarceration, they pay their lobbyists millions. In order to organize the fight, it's going to cost. It won't come free. The abolitionist movement was a for-profit business. They didn't have nonprofits then. We must have operating capital. You can too give something. $2 right now, we've got 50 people watching. If each of those persons gave 10, yeah, I got exactly 50. Exactly 50. If each of them gave 10, it'd be 500.
Add 113 to that, brother.
Okay,
Short.
so yeah, if each gave 20, it'd be 1,000.
Got it.
If they gave more than that, if they gave 30, wow, we would be in that. And we want flyers, product. We want this to be world class. If you know speakers, if you know thinkers, if you know writers, we're thinking about everything from having a patriarch journal, a patriarch website. We even have brothers, not just Brother Chef C. We have other people who literally have a existing black business app portal. We want this to be more than a gripe session. We want people networking. We want people talking. We want connections, people doing business with each other. Last but not least, we want your prayers. This week, a leader of black farmers is coming to town. I think he got here today. We're hoping for a strategic partnership to look at what we can do to See if there's a way to structure a relationship around food, around opportunity, around black culture, around black business. And I also want your prayers for the young brothers that have a contract where they can deliver inexpensive alkaline water. That's what I wanted to talk to you about, Chef C. There's black folks who have aquifers in 2 states. I've got relations with both. Our water supply isn't safe. We as patriarchs have to start showing that we can solve problems. So I hope you're all in. May God bless you. May his face shine upon you and give you peace. I'm done. You know how to bless us. On their necks. Let's talk to. Everybody needs your support. Please support the United New Black Media. And if that film comes out to where you are, a microphone check, I got a few cameos in it. I hope you enjoy it. Good night.
Yes, indeed. Salute to brother Dr. Randy Short, ladies and gentlemen. Over 120 of y'all in here on this side. Add the 50, that's 170 of y'all tapped in with us right now. Salute to everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it.
MFM. MFM, everybody. I like it. MFM.
I will say this, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for tapping in with us here today. And you know what? We are looking at it. And the verdict is out. Donald Trump definitely got some of that nigga treatment. But you know what? We just...
Well, we get it every
we'll
day.
leave it up to you
and we don't get to
make
be
your judgments,
billionaires.
ladies and gentlemen. So with that being said, I'm your host, Chef C. For On the Next Podcast, tapped in with the Angry Black Man's Book Club. For Pack Talk number 25. And ladies and gentlemen, remember, in a system of white degeneracy, you stand for nothing, you fall for anything. My name is Chef C, and I'm out.
That's not a gang. Well, it is a gang sign. We want our motherfucking money. So that's MFM. That's our gang sign, that we want our damn money and we are owed. When are we going to get paid for the work that we've done? We'll get paid when we come together with God and in solidarity with each other. We can't let anybody turn us around. I'm going to take a nap. I hope I get enough rest so I can do some of this reading. I have some great things to share with you. Okay. I want to say love to everybody, Brother Pedagogy, Brother Herc, Owens, all the moderators, Brother El Negro Hotep, Sister Scales, all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you again. Brother Mark, Sister Devon, please, 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 please help us. Sister Kamala Wright, happy Sunday. Hey, Curbs, how you doing? Hi to everybody. I'm out of here. We'll talk soon. Again, I'll be putting out information for that Zoom call. That'll come out tonight. I'll make certain. You guys take care. Bye-bye. I do need white rest. All right, we're signing out.